Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're unpacking the invisible infrastructure that literally powers our modern world, cloud computing. If you're a focused learner looking to finally grasp how these complex digital systems actually work, without getting bogged down in endless jargon, well, you are definitely in the right place. We're going to break these concepts down using real, everyday examples to make the architecture of the internet super easy to understand. So get comfortable and let's explore this incredible journey of digital scale.
How does a local business go global overnight? I mean, it sounds like a slick marketing pitch, right? But in today's digital age, it's actually a very real, very pressing architectural problem. Imagine you've got this brilliant physical product, and suddenly, boom, the whole world wants it. Your reach is totally uncapped. But your technology? Yeah, that might be a completely different story. Let's look at a concrete example to see exactly what this looks like on the ground.
Okay, meet our hero. Imagine a manufacturer based right in Chandigarh, India. They've got their own plant, and they make these absolutely phenomenal e-bikes. Battery-operated bikes that are just taking the local market by storm. Right now, they completely dominate the Chandigarh Tri-City area. Sales are fantastic within, say, a 50 to 100-kilometer radius. But our manufacturer has this massive vision. They look at the market and realize, hey, there's no universally recognized player for e-bikes yet. They want to be the Activa of e-bikes, a brand name so ubiquitous that literally every household knows it. To pull that off, they've got to expand. First out of Chandigarh, maybe to Delhi, South India, the Northeast. But really, why stop there? Why not South Africa? Why not go global? Now, to manage this huge web of sales, orders, and customer data, they're going to need a world-class web and mobile application that anyone, anywhere can use. But here's the massive roadblock. Our hero is a total expert at building physical e-bikes. They know absolutely nothing about IT. Configuring servers, managing databases, full-stack development, totally out of their wheelhouse.
Okay, let's dive into this. To build that global app, our manufacturer basically has two paths. The old way means that they have to literally purchase physical servers, buy massive storage arrays, build out network infrastructure, and install all of this huge equipment right on their own physical premises. And since they don't know IT, they'd have to hire a massive, super expensive team of experts just to keep the lights on. Even if they outsource the whole shebang to a third-party IT firm, it's going to cost an absolute fortune in upfront capital. But then, there's a totally different approach, the cloud way. By leveraging software as a service, they don't have to buy a single piece of physical hardware, not one. The cloud provider handles all the heavy lifting behind the scenes. Our e-bike manufacturer basically just gets an admin panel. They upload their data, manage the business, and get right back to doing what they do best, which is building awesome bikes. It's a fraction of the cost, with zero hardware headaches.
And that brings us perfectly to our core definition. What actually is cloud computing? Well, quite simply, it means delivering computing services. We're talking things like storage, servers, databases, and software entirely over the internet. Instead of having a super loud, hot server room down the hall from your office, you just access all that immense computing power over the web. It's all right there, readily available, delivered seamlessly from the cloud directly to your screen.
Now you might be sitting there wondering, do I actually use this kind of enterprise-level technology in my daily life? Well, think of the number 0. That is the exact number of movie files you have to download to your device when you decide to watch something on Netflix. Or think about when you stream music. You just open the app, make sure you have a decent internet connection, log in, and boom, the movie or song instantly starts playing. Those massive files aren't taking up any space on your phone or your laptop. They're living on huge servers out in the cloud, being beamed directly to you exactly on demand.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how it highlights a massive pain point we've all faced. You're out somewhere, snapping photos, having a great time, and suddenly your phone flashes that dreaded, awful message, storage full. In the old days, you'd literally have to rush home, plug your phone into a computer with a wire, and manually drag and drop files over to a hard drive. But today, you just tap a button to buy an iCloud subscription. You pay a few bucks a month, and instantly, your precious photos and videos are safely backed up to the cloud. You didn't crack open your phone and install a new hard drive, right? You just rented storage space over the internet. You just need the connectivity, and the cloud handles all the rest.
But it begs the question, who is actually storing all these photos, streaming all these movies, and, going back to our e-bike maker, hosting their global app? The cloud isn't just, empty magical space in the sky. It's actually made up of massive, physical data centers owned by some of the absolute biggest tech giants in the world. The major players dominating this space are Amazon Web Services, or AWS, which holds a really massive share of the market. Then you have Microsoft Azure and Google Cloud Platform. And beyond the top 3, there are other incredible providers out there too, like Oracle, Alibaba, IBM, and Salesforce. Some provide public cloud services, some do private, but these are the absolute colossal entities powering the internet behind the scenes.
Let's move to and see how this builds into the core characteristics of the cloud. The first big one is on-demand self-service. Think back to that phone storage example for a second. You didn't have to call up a sales rep at Apple, fill out some tedious paper form, and then wait 3 weeks for a technician to allocate your storage. No way. You simply stated your demand by tapping a button on a screen and the resources were provisioned instantly. Whether you just need an extra gigabyte of photo storage or you need a massive server farm to launch a brand new mobile app, the cloud gives it to you automatically the exact moment you ask for it.
And this brilliantly illustrates the whole pay-as-you-go model. Let's compare this to something we all know, transportation. Setting up traditional on-premises IT is basically like going out and buying a car. You've got this huge upfront cost, plus you have to pay for maintenance, insurance, and parking, even when the car is just sitting there doing nothing. Cloud computing, on the other hand, is exactly like booking an Ola cab or an Uber. You don't own the car, and you sure don't maintain it. You simply request a ride, and you pay precisely for the kilometers you travel. It's a metered utility service. If you use it heavily, you pay more. But if you shut your business down for the weekend, your payments literally stop. You only pay when the meter is spinning.
The third really key characteristic we need to talk about is broad network access. Because everything is hosted over the internet, you aren't tied to one specific desk or one specific machine anymore. Our e-bike owner in Chandigarh, they could be on vacation in South Africa, pull out their smartphone, and instantly check real-time sales data. You can access the cloud from a laptop, a tablet, your phone, literally from anywhere in the world. It just brings this unprecedented level of ease and accessibility to managing massive, complex systems.
So, the crucial point is understanding how these massive cloud providers actually manage to offer all this so cheaply. Well, they use a clever concept called resource pooling through virtualization. Think of it like sharing a really nice hotel swimming pool. When you book a room at a fancy hotel, you get to use their amazing pool, right? But you don't own the pool. The hotel definitely didn't build a private pool just for your specific room. It's a shared resource. When you check out after a couple of days, another guest is going to arrive and swim in that exact same pool. The cloud works identically. Providers have massive pools of computing power and storage. When you need it, they logically carve out and allocate a portion just to you. It feels exactly like it's yours exclusively, but behind the scenes, you're actually sharing the physical hardware with thousands of other users. And that is exactly what makes it so incredibly efficient and cost-effective.
Finally, we arrive at what I think are absolutely the most powerful advantages of the cloud: scalability and elasticity. Let's go back to our e-bike app for a second. Let's say right now the app is comfortably handling, about 1,000 user requests a day. Everything's running smooth. But imagine a scenario where tomorrow the government suddenly announces a super strict ban on all petrol and diesel vehicles. Overnight, total panic ensues, and literally everyone rushes to buy an e-bike. Suddenly, your app traffic spikes from 1,000 requests to 100,000 requests, maybe even 1 million. If you had built your own physical servers, your app would instantly crash and burn under that kind of pressure. But with the cloud provider just says, hey, no problem, we've got incredibly huge computational resources just waiting. You simply slide a scale, increase your payment slightly, and your infrastructure expands instantly to absorb all 100,000 users without a single glitch.
So, we've seen how a local e-bike maker in Chandigarh can totally bypass those massive IT hurdles, rent world-class infrastructure for literally pennies on the dollar, and prepare to scale to millions of users globally. And it's all thanks to the on-demand, metered, and highly elastic power of cloud computing. The old barriers to entry for massive global infrastructure, they have completely disappeared. So I'm going to leave you with this final thought. With the limitless scalability of the cloud, quite literally at your fingertips, what global idea will you launch tomorrow? Keep learning, keep building, and I will see you in the next explainer.